Hi, I am coming at you mid-month, yes, November 15th. My name is Karina. I am starting to do a lot of debt-free budgeting videos. If you've seen my last video, I was gonna say episode. If you watch my last video, I spoke about what kind of debt I'm in. I do have almost $30,000 of debt. I also talked about my Notion template. I showed you how I'm working through that. I didn't really have a game plan last time. I just wanted to share like what my debts were, what my plan was to get out of debt. So this video today will be a little bit more on how I track my spending. I do have a little chamomile tea today. I don't normally drink tea, but I thought that I had like some allergic something, like I thought my allergies were just acting up. Now that I think about it, like maybe I am a little sick, but I'm feeling better. It's just now I have all of my congestion just stuck in here. And then I also have a half-eaten pizza because I'm still trying to give myself some sustenance. I'm hoping that I can continue doing this where it's like one at the beginning of the month and I budget, and then another one midweek, and then at the end of the month I'll do a recap, show you my numbers, and then my budget once again. That's kind of how I'm trying to have things planned out. We shall see how this actually goes. I'm filling in some of my numbers still, some of my expenses of this month. If you watched my last plan with me, I'll have those linked in the either up here or in the description below. Also subscribe, like let's be friends. Let's do this together because debt is daunting and I've been trying to get out of debt for a very long time, but you know, things happen and that's okay. That is a-okay. Sometimes we don't get to do everything we want and that's fine. So now that I am like really tackling my debt, I am very excited. I will say my income probably decreased by like 300 this month, and you know, it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that. I am an actor and I do have a part-time job, so the only consistency that I have is with that part-time job, and my hours have dwindled down, but that's okay. I'm fortunate that I can pick up whenever I need to, but I'm also fortunate that I have been being booked more often throughout this month and last month, that I still literally have some checks that I need to cash. And I have a really bad habit of not cashing them in and just having like a whole lump sum of money that just goes into my account. So you'll see some of this stuff in here. Right now we are in my overview in my Notion. I do plan and track in Notion. Notion I do use as a bigger picture planning system, and then I use my Google Calendar to plan my weeks, my days, etc. This month I did do my very first 5K. So again, if you watch my last plan with me, I did it. I did it. I have my little bib here too. Listen, we're just not gonna track my time. This first 5K was about doing it and finishing it, but now I do have a really good idea of like where I stand, just like minimally. So my plan next time, I want to do another 5K. I want to do another one, but this time I want to actually track my time and try and get better at it. So we'll do that at some point. But with that being said, I did spend a little bit of money, but I did have that money already in here budgeted for the month of November. My gosh, I don't even know what month we're in. And that would have been on Sunday, this payment here. And then this was a personal expense for me. And I have to add this little guy here so that when you go up here into my overview, we see just how much money I actually have. And this is so far my total expense. This is so far my total income. My savings I track on my own. I don't have it in this anymore. If you watch my last video, I talked about how my numbers were just not matching up to what my actual bank statements said. So it was this whole thing about, also, let me just say, it is a gloomy, rainy day, which I absolutely love. I am so privileged to have a home that I can enjoy the rain safely inside. I love the rain. I love it. I love it. It's supposed to rain for like the next 5 days. But if you hear the water dripping, like we have some ambiance today. So my savings, I do just track on my own, and it is set to an auto deposit from my checking, but my only checking that it comes out of is from my part-time job. My check for this one would be 133 plus 30 plus 50. So 133 plus 80 would have been my actual check for this date, but 133 went into my checking, and the rest of it went into 50 went into my fund, and then 30 went into my savings. There's another expense along this Santa Monica that I did also do, which was parking for the event. And I was very fortunate. I was expecting to pay $25, but I was very fortunate to have only paid $4. Literally, God was so on our side that day. Like, everything just worked out perfectly as planned. We had such a great time. I ran the race with my best friend. We'd been big fans of Blink-182. We'd always wanted to go to Warped Tour. I just never had it in my budget, but then Travis Barker started doing his 5Ks. Anyways, long story short, we finally got to do it. It was fantastic. I'm gonna do it again next year. This was a beautiful, beautiful time. Then this was also transportation, and we're adding the expenses in here. So I also wanted to add my additional income. I typically like to categorize and actually specify where my payment came from. That way I just know for myself, and especially because a lot of the work that I do it's almost like freelance work where I'm not going to be on a payroll like my part-time job and it be consistent like this. It is like a payroll system, but I get physical checks sent to my house as opposed to a direct deposit. So I do like to check off when I have received that check for what project it was. That just keeps me in line. I will say, I am still waiting for a check from a project that I did back in December. And I need to get back on my little emailing to them because I want that check. I worked for it. I want that check. Today, I'm just going to duplicate these guys just because they're going to be the same thing here. And then it will just have acting 1, 2, 3, and 4. But for these guys, I will be changing and updating these numbers based off of the checks that I have right in front of me. And then I'm also going to write the project. Ooh, can I? I actually don't think I can write the project on here just because a lot of these projects haven't come out yet and I sign NDAs, so I can't always tell you what I'm working on because of that. But then once it comes out, like I'll be able to share. There was a point in time where I was also filming like my days on set and everything because I love memories and I wanted to keep that for myself, but at the same time they're not very keen on you filming everything, which I totally understand. Like, I don't want to do that to them. I want them to trust me and hire me again, but when the shows and the movies and commercials and everything come out, then that is when I'll be able to like share all of that BTS, you know? My numbers on these always vary because we don't know how long we're going to be on set. Sometimes those hours can be less than 6, or sorry, sometimes it can be less than 8 or more than 8. I've had instances where I've been on set for almost 16 hours. The check was nice, let me tell you. That shmoney was good, but my physical well-being, it was a little rough. It was a little rough. In this middle section, my fixed expenses, I do, just like the title says, these are fixed expenses. These are the same things that come out of my checking every single month. I have my debt, as you can see here, which I will focus on in just a sec. I have my subscriptions, and I also have my utilities up in here. My utilities are fairly low, which I sincerely appreciate. We're pretty good about leaving the lights off, turning things off, etc. So my gas, we cook a lot in this house. Like, we're definitely, that's how I've saved a ton of money, and that has been a pretty good expense there. My electricity, though, I have learned that LA does things very differently. So I get charged for electricity every 3 months. It's a quarter system, I guess. And we got our first electricity bill last month, and that was like 101 or 100 and something. That basically ended up being like $33 per month, which amazing. Our internet is very inexpensive as well, and that is $15 my share. So it's like 30 bucks every single month. Again, love. Let's see, so far in the month, ooh, $395. That's not bad. So overall, I will have, this is my net balance, $1,077. That was with my new income added. I should be getting more checks by the end of the month. And of course, I'll get another check from my part-time job. So I should be in a very good standing. We are supposed to be getting a sofa this month. Sofa. I know that will be another expense. So let me see over here in my budget. So yes, about almost $400 so far. So hoping that for the next 15 days, the next 2 weeks, I don't spend that much money, just my necessities. These are the 4 cards, my credit cards, that I have currently with a lot of money in them. And these are my minimum payments, except for my Bank of America card. My Bank of America card this month is $464 minimum. And that is one of my highest cards. My limit is really high, my amount of money in there is really high, and then my minimum payment is really high. So that is one that I do want to bring down to like a minimum payment of $300 so that I can tackle the rest of my cards and just pay a little extra. Apple, my Apple card has been one that I continue to pay a little extra on. So personally, I would like to tackle this card first. I'm thinking the Bank of America, like I just want to bring it down a little bit so my interest isn't, accruing too much. And then that way I can focus on my Apple card. And total, I think I have like $3,900 in there, $3,800 or $3,900 in my Apple card. And then in my Capital One card, that is my lowest card. And that one does have about $1,900 in there as well. Again, my Bank of America is the highest, $464 my minimum, and about $15,100. No, $15,000 to like $15,270 on there. And then my mini card, 140 minimum, which that one fluctuates, but 140 minimum, and total in there I believe is about 4,600 in that card. So total is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm hoping, but again, like I was saying earlier, I think this month I might be under $4,000, but it looked like the last couple of months I was hitting about 4,500 a month, which was beautiful, absolutely fantastic. But this month it's looking like maybe I'll do 3,200. But from the looks of this, 2,667 is technically all I needed to pay all of my bills. If you look at my budget for the month of November, so that makes me feel really good. I honestly was a little nervous, once again, because I hadn't deposited my checks, but I was getting a little nervous because it didn't seem like the amount of money that I had had the previous months was going to be the same as this month. And so I was a little worried that I wasn't going to hit my minimum payments. But again, it's looking like I will, and I have, and all will be okay. all will be okay. I think I'm going to close this out now, this screen recording here. And that might be it for us today. Thank you for joining me on a simple mid-month budget tracking just update. This I feel like is important, and again, I want to be as consistent as possible and hold myself accountable because I'm serious about this, y'all. Like, I am so ready for this debt to be gone. If you see how much I spend on solely my credit card payments, like my monthly payments for just my credit cards are about like $800. I could be saving that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is insane. Like, why did I do this to myself? Anyways, I did harbor a lot of guilt. I no longer have that guilt. Now I'm just like action based, and I'm like, okay, it's time to get like real serious about this, and we need to get out of this. So no more shame, no more guilt. I'm doing it slowly but surely. I'm hoping that at some point I book a national commercial with residuals, and that will just take care of all of my debt, and then we just get some money. Let me also add, and I am not certain how investments work, stocks, 401s, like all of that. I am still learning. I am 30 and I don't know a lot of this, but that's a-okay. I am learning. However, I do have about like 2,200, 2,100, I think it's 2183, $2,183 in my stocks. Like, I could technically take that out whenever I needed to. I don't necessarily know how, but I know that if like worst came to worst, I would be able to help myself in that way. So yeah, that's really nice. I started saving, or I started adding money into stocks about 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And I'm honestly very happy that I did. Again, still learning, but I know that I can take that money out whenever I need to. I'm not going to, I don't want to, but that is still there. And really quickly, I just want to let y'all know, so I am planning to go to, now I'm just thinking about December, I am planning to go home for the holidays. And given my last few trips, which have only been like 2, I don't need too much, especially since I'm going home. I'm not going to be spending a ton of money, and I'm already not buying any Christmas gifts this year, but I will be saving to go home, which I would technically only need about $100 just there and back for gas. And right now I'm sitting at $134 for my fund money. I will be paying my boyfriend back. We had our first year anniversary yesterday, so we went out to dinner. I did tell him like I want to go halvesies on this, so I want to put in my share for dinner. That was the pizza that we got, and we tried out a new pizza. I am sitting at $869 for my savings, which feels really good. I do have it in my Capital One account because it does give me 3.7 APR. So like last month I got $2.26 back. I want to get this account to 1,000. I want to get it to 1,000. I don't want to pull anything from it, and be able to just have that accumulate interest so I can have some extra money. Because if it stayed at about $3 per month, 3 times 12 is 36. So by the end of the month, I'll have $36, you know, which is better than nothing, like way better than nothing. And oh, I lied. Nope, my Venture One card is at 2,040 cents. Did I use this? No, I did not. Okay, that one is a card that keeps accruing interest, but we'll get it down. We'll get it down for sure. All right, thank you for joining me on this gloomy, rainy day here in Los Angeles. My name is Karina. Thank you for being here. If you are also on a debt-free journey, like, we got this, y'all. We got this. I know it's hard. But truly, like, we have everything that we need. Like, I haven't been buying anything last month. Again, didn't buy anything. The most that I've spent already for this month has been, okay, maybe like $100, which isn't too bad because, again, like, my fund money still has money in it. I spent that 40 out of my fun money, the $44 basically because of the parking. And yeah, oh my gosh, and this month too, I had to pay my tags for my car and get a smog check. So those were new expenses that obviously I don't have every single month, but that was definitely this month's highest expense. Next month, or honestly by the end of this month, I do need to get a oil change for my car, which actually will be free because I still have, I'm still on a like 3-year plan or something. But I do also have to get my brake fluid flushed out, and that might be a pretty penny. That might be a little bit more. Oh, and then a new expense for this month was Squarespace. This is a domain that I got back in like 2019 maybe. I was going to do an actor page that I never did because I wasn't acting much at the time. So then I figured it was like, I don't need this. I should have. But my domain is still there. If I ever want to go back to it, I would have to pay a monthly fee. So again, it's not really in the budget right now, but my social medias is what basically is taking care of that right now. So those were new expenses of the month. Now we're done. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you have a lovely, lovely, beautiful day. I'll talk to you later. Peace in the streets. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Like this video because it does sincerely help my channel. I am a small creator. I am simply trying to find a community of like-minded people who are also on the same journey as I am. And I would love to hear your story and how you are tackling your debt, if you are. Okay, bye.